Hi YouTube, it's Lena, and I'm here today with a Ipsy first impression. This is the stuff from my October bag. I know I'm a little behind on these, but I'm catching up. Yay! I haven't even gotten my BoxyCharm for November yet. But I also got the Purely Blue Lotus serum in this, which I'm not going to apply on camera, obviously, because there's not really anything to see. I knew I liked that serum, though. That's why I chose it as my option for October. So, just opening up my Betty Boop palette because I wanted to check to see if there is a cream eyeshadow to set my primer with, and there is not. So I'm going to have to pull from another palette to do that. And if you're thinking, you sound like you just woke up, it's because I did. I'm actually meeting one of my college roommates for lunch today, so I figured why not take advantage of a day that I'm up and about. And you're probably like, why do you have one of your hats on if you're putting on makeup? I have dry shampoo in my hair, so I figured y'all didn't need to see that. Anyways, so not only do I have this palette to test, I have a Tarte Chrome Paint Shadow Pot and Park Avenue Princess to test. Now, I don't know much about these, but they definitely look like the L'Oreal pigments. Like, they have the little, cap in them and everything. So, I'm going to apply this to my lids like I would those, which is with my fingers. I mean, that's what it looks like. They still look like them, too. Oh, that's pigmented. Oh, that's so pretty. Now, some people got some, like, greens and purples that I know I would have loved too, but, it's hard to be mad at something this stinking pretty. So far, very pretty. I need to bring y'all up closer. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I've literally just woke up. Okay, that's a little better. Where are my makeup wipes? Because I have this stuff all over my finger and I need to remove it. Here they are, right in front of me. So if I don't wipe that chrome paint off my fingers, I'm eventually going to smear it all over myself. But alright, I'm going to go in the crease with this peachy shade right here. I'm just going to stick to the warm half of this palette for right now. Play with the cool colors another day. Not the most pigmented thing out there, but it's blendable and it does go on. I wish I had a slightly darker crease shade in here, but that's like the only matte in this. I don't really have much to go with. And I think for my outer V, I'm actually going to go with this kind of brown shade. I'm going to swatch these real quick. Actually, like here's the warm half. That middle that looks like it's almost blank is that peach shade that I had to really build up in my crease. That's the cooler half, which, I don't know, they blend well, I'll give it that, but they're not the most pigmented shades out there. They are so far fairly workable shades, though. Like, I'm also gonna pop this in my inner corner real quick. Oh, that's been the most pigmented one of the bunch. I mean, if like the crease shade displays some good staying power, it'll be fine. So I will be back in a bit for the face products. Okay, I'm back. So I'm going to go in with this Betty Boop, what's it called? Cheek to Cheek blush palette. So I'm going to go in with this blush right here. And because I've seen pigmentation issues with this, I'm actually going to go in with a pretty dense brush. Let's see. Picked up all right. I think it looks fine, honestly. But I mean, I'm going to go in with this highlight down the center of my face. I'm going to use a different highlight in the middle of my face. I'll show you what in a minute. Because I got two highlighters in this, but... Okay, it is going like on my face, so... I don't know. I've seen a lot of people complain about this, but I mean, it's powdery. I had to dig in just a little bit to kind of break the surface, but once I did, it's fine. So, and then I got this highlight from Trestique. These little, I love their packaging. I really do. I'm a dork. But it is the all over Starlighter powder stick in ultraviolet. Now, it doesn't really go with this look at all, but I had that chrome paint, so I mean, that's a swatch of it right there. It's gorgeous. I love these highlighters. So I think I'm just supposed to, yeah, apply to my face and blend. Because one of their kind of like things is that you can get by without, it's stunning, without brushes with their makeup. Like either some of their packaging will come with brushes attached to it, or it's, you know, you could just swipe it on your face and blend with your finger. With the right eye look, like if I'd used those cool tones in the palette, this would have made a great inner corner highlight too. Now see, I added the palette, so like I initially got the blush palette, not the eyeshadow palette, but I was like, I want to try the eyeshadow palette. It's really hard for me to say no to a good eyeshadow palette. Now finally, I'm going to take off my lip balm right here. We have these Jules and Smith lip glosses. One is Serene Queen, my bad. And the other one is Namaste All Day. So how I'm going to wear these is I'm going to take a lip liner and I'm going to wear one of these on top. This is the Wet n Wild Gel Lip Crayon in, what was it called? Lay Down the Mauves. I'm trying to use it up this year. Definitely on the brown side of mauve, but that actually does go with this look. So I think I'm actually going to take Serene Queen right here, but I'll swatch them both for you in a second. So that is Serene Queen right there, but I think it'll still go good. Seem to have much of a smell to it. Like when I initially swatched this on my Instagram live video, I thought they had a scent to them and I was concerned because the scent I was getting wasn't good, but I think I might have been smelling something else because they don't really smell like anything, which is not a bad thing. I'd rather it smell like nothing than smell like, you know, burnt plastic, which is what I was smelling. Anyway, here's Namaste All Day. That's the top one. They're fairly pigmented. It definitely like changed up the color a little bit. So I am going to go about my day and I will come back at the end of the day to let you know how these products held up. All right, I'm back. So it's end of the night and I have one sleeve rolled up because that's a thing. All right, so let's look at my stuff. I actually threw everything back in the bag because I was organizing my desk earlier, but first is the Trestique highlight. I am impressed with this little sucker. After 8 hours, at least 8 hours, because I left the house at 12:30, it is now 8:30, so 8 to 9 hours, I can still see this sucker really well when I'm looking in my mirror. So I don't know what colors they have. I'll insert a picture to give you an idea. I don't know if they're all, you know, they're called Starlighters because it's got a little star pattern on here. I don't know if they're all like this holographic duochrome thing or if they've got some more regular colored highlights, but this is a really good formula and it sticks to your skin. So, color me impressed. Next is the Eyeshadow Palette. And despite me having to build up that color in the crease, it and my outer V is still there and my inner corner is still there. So they're a little on the light side, but I mean, they blend well. They can be built up, and I can't get this bloody package open. There we go. I'm still really curious to try this side as well. So I have to let you know about that at a later date, but so far I think it's a good palette. Do I think it's worth the price that they wanted to charge? Which you can't even buy it from Ipsy now. You have to like go swap for it or something. There's plenty of them out there. I don't necessarily know if it's worth the price that they charged, but the eyeshadows are good, and because they're lightly pigmented, I think they'd actually be really good for like somebody that's a little more of a beginner. The blush palette. Now, I only tried 2 of the products in here, and this highlight I really only did down the center of my face, but I can still see it kind of like on my middle area. And the blush is light, but still there, which is what I wanted, so I will have to test this more matte shade a different day, but I'm sure it's a similar formula as the, what's it called? Shimmery blush. I like them, they're fine. I will have to check against my collection to how many in the way of dupes do I have to this. Would I rather keep something that I can control the pigment a little better like this versus something that's highly pigmented, but you know, as soon as it touches your face, you got like hella clown cheeks going on. So I know day to day, even though I usually wear my blush a bit darker, this is probably, you know, a more naturally look that I should probably go for, but I don't know. I am a blush demon, among other things, so yeah. So this was good. This is amazing, like no creasing or anything like that. I have what is honestly, it pops up in pretty much every time I test something, a little bald spot right here. That is where I sweat in my hooded eyelids, so we forgive that, like, because I usually wind up testing eyeshadows without a base, or let's say this kind of is a base, I might layer a bit of a powder on top of it. Like, there's actually a shade in here that would have went really well on top of it. This shade is a hair darker maybe, but they're very, very similar, and I think that the rather intense shimmer would still shine through, but otherwise, I mean, this definitely hung in there very well, especially on this side. It doesn't have that kind of spot problem that this one does right here, but it doesn't feel sticky or anything right there like it does sometimes, so I will get with that. And finally, the lip glosses. Now, do I think that these are anything amazing, worth the higher end price tag? Not particularly, but they are very nice lip glosses. You get a decent amount of pigment in them. I wore them over a different lip liner so you can't see it, but they do pull these colors when you put them on by themselves. But I wanted to wear my lip liner today to give them a little more chance of hanging in there, and especially with the lip liner, as long as I'm not like doing some heavy duty eating, they hang in there. But I had a burger for lunch today, so yeah, I had to reapply. I actually just reapplied again right now because it was looking kind of sad. But they're good lip glosses and I'm happy to have them. I don't necessarily think they're anything groundbreaking though, but they're good. They don't smell weird on my lips. They don't feel nasty. They are a little bit on the thicker side, but when they're a little bit thicker and a little bit sticky, they're not bad sticky at all. Don't get me wrong. When they're a little bit sticky, that means they're gonna hang in there longer, and that I do appreciate. So that is it. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, I do really appreciate it, and hopefully I will see you later. Bye.